Okay, known miscreant Matthew Lloyd here says it seems like the SEC is going after Elon Musk hard. New York has offered financial incentives for building electric vehicle charging stations, but has specifically excluded Tesla from participating. Canada announced a new financial incentive for the purchase of electric vehicles that also excludes Tesla. Why does it seem like government doesn't like Tesla, even though Tesla is actively creating the utopian clean energy future that the progressives claim to want? I don't really know the answer to that, but I can guess. The reason that they are that they're against Elon Musk is because, and I understand the whole subsidies thing, and there's certainly an argument to be made. And people say, "Oh, he's not a hero; he gets all these government benefits." Okay, that's true, but he is still spending most of his money on projects that I think are really important. People think, that because I think the EPA has morphed into something absolutely absurd, and because I don't believe, well, I certainly don't believe that the Earth is about to end because of carbon emissions, and I like fast cars and so on. But it turns out that an electric car is probably quicker than any internal combustion car. I've heard anecdotally that electric cars have to have limiters put in them because if you just put the accelerator down on an electric car, there's so much torque that it'll damn near break your neck. So I think, and I've driven in. I haven't driven them, but I've ridden front seat in the Teslas. They're fantastic cars. When you start asking questions like this, you have to start asking questions that are similar to this, such as, why did all of the feminists in the country keep supporting Bill Clinton? And when you ask questions like that, you kind of get some interesting answers. I wonder if the fact that Elon Musk is doing it and doing it with style and making money at it doesn't deprive them of this whipping boy that they've used. In other words, they're just kind of trapped. We want this clean energy because if we had clean energy, then everything would be swell. So along comes Elon Musk with a clean. Look, it's an electric car, right? So the electricity has to come from somewhere. For all we know, if he's driving the car on the East Coast, he's very likely driving a coal-powered car. We'll put that aside for a minute. He's actually doing it, and since he's doing it, it kind of takes away from the immediacy of their argument. I mean, if you think about it, if you really just think about it, let's just assume that we were through our intelligence and our innovation and engineering skills and so on. Let's just say, for the sake of the argument, that we were capable of generating absolutely clean energy and making completely clean society, just zero emission society. Let's just say that we could do it. Then what? Then what? Do you really think that if we had that kind of Starfleet Academy kind of future, kind of Epcot Center future, do we really think that the left would disappear, that they would simply stop? And Steve Darrow points out that their resistance to nuclear is proof of that. And the energy has to come from somewhere, folks. And I notice that the people who are calling the most for the renewable energy sources, I notice these people are not riding their bicycles to work. So I suspect that the reason that Musk is being singled out is because this is just a gut reaction, but my gut reaction is that they hate him because he didn't get the message that clean energy is not about clean energy. It's about destroying capitalism and destroying America. And Musk is providing clean energy and becoming a capitalist and promoting all of these American values. I think that probably pisses them off quite a bit. It's about the only thing I can think of. And as Original Peace Snowflake points out here in the comments, there's a lot of jealousy involved too. There's always jealousy of people that do things first. I am reminded of a story. I think maybe apocryphal, but nevertheless, it was attributed to Christopher Columbus, and he was. This is how I heard the story. He was at a dinner, and a number of people were basically saying he'd come back from his voyages, and they were basically, or the first one anyway, and they were saying, because his title was Admiral of all the world's seas or something like that. And so a number of people were just kind of, big deal. What's a big deal? Anybody could have done that. You just got in a boat and sailed west. You're walking around here like you're God. I don't know what all the fuss is about. And at least according to the story, Columbus hands them an egg, a boiled egg, which is at the dinner table. And he says, why don't you make this egg stand on its end? Just make it stand upright on its end. And so the guy who's been belittling Columbus tries this and tries to balance it, tries everything, and just can't get it to do it. And he says it's impossible. So then they give this boiled egg back to Columbus, and he just taps it against the tabletop, so he crushes the bottom of it. And he crushes the bottom of it, makes the bottom flat, and now the egg will stay there. And then Columbus says, now you can do it. It's easy to do it when somebody's shown you how. And I think that's really, a big part of it.